Hi guys, you need to pause the video and complete this warm-up. After you've completed the warm-up, resume the video and I will give you the answers. So pause the video and complete the warm-up. Okay, welcome back. When you were answering these, for the first one you should have gotten $75. The second one you should have gotten $862.50. The third one you should have gotten $3,526.49. And the last one you should have gotten $991.73. Anytime during the video, if you have any questions, make sure to write it down in your notes so I can answer it when I get back. This is your objective today, so you need to write that you'll be identifying the parts of the algebraic expression. We'll be doing two sections today. We're just doing 7-2 before we do 7-1 because it just makes more sense in our minds, so that's what we are doing. So pause the video, write down the objective, and then continue the video once you are ready. For vocabulary, you need to make sure that you have all of these vocabulary words in your notes. So you need to have that a term is anything included with any sort of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division sign in between it, so it has an operation in between it. You need to know that the coefficient is the number in front of the variable. And then you need to know that like terms are terms that look the same, so they share the same variables or they're the same number. And then you need to know that a constant is a number without a variable. So make sure you have each of those in your notes. So pause the video if you need some time to write down the vocabulary words, and then we will move on. Okay, so looking at this, it's going to ask you to identify each of those vocabulary words that you just wrote down in your notes. So if we were to identify the terms in this case would be 3x, 4y, and 4x. Those are each of our terms. They're separated by an operation sign. Okay, we don't have any constants because there is nothing that is not separated from a variable. Your like terms, so they'll share the same variable. So your like terms in this case would be the 3x and 4x. And then the coefficients, I'm okay if you don't write down the 4 twice because it's the coefficient of two of the different variables, but you have to have that 3 and 4 are your coefficients. Okay, even though that says identify, I'm going to take it one step further and I'm going to make you guys show what this expression would actually simplify to become. So if I were to look, I can combine my 3x and my 4x because they look alike and they're the same thing. So if I were to combine those, if I had 3x's and 4x's, I have 7x's total. And then I have 4y left because it's by itself, but I can't add it to anything. The biggest piece you guys have to remember is that I can't combine anything that doesn't look alike. So 7x plus 4y ends up being my answer. Okay? So this next one, identify the terms, like terms, coefficients, and constants in the expression. The terms for this one would be 5x, 3, 7x, and 4. Your like terms would be 5x and 7x, and then 3 and 4. Even though they're also constants, they're still like terms. I can still add them. Your constants would also be 3 and 4. And then your coefficients would be 5 and 7. 3 and 4 aren't included in those because I'm not looking for a number that is without my variable. So if I were to solve for this one and I look at the things that are the same, my 7x and my 5x are the same, so I can add those. So 7 and 5 is 12. So 12x's. And then I have 3 and 4. So if I were to add those in, that would be 7. So you're left with 12x plus 7, and that's as far as I can take that. I can't take it any further. Okay, you guys need to pause the video write down the terms, the like terms, the coefficients, and the constants in this expression. And then when you come back, I will give you the answers. So pause the video, complete A, B, and C, and then resume the video when you are ready. Okay, welcome back. For A, your terms should have been 4x, y, and 7x. Your like terms should have been 4x and 7x. Your coefficients for this one would have been a 4, a 1, and a 7, because even though that y is by itself, it still represents a 1. And then you don't have any constants in this expression. When you simplified this, you should have gotten 11x plus y. So I will write that down to make sure you're getting that. For B, your terms would have been 3x, 8, 2x, and 1. Your like terms would have been 3x and 2x. You could have included 8 and 1 in there if you wanted. Your coefficients would have been a 3 and a 2. And then your constants would have been 8 and 1. Okay, and when you simplified this one, you should have gotten 5x plus 9. For C, your terms should have been negative 4x, 2y, 3y, and 2x. Your like terms would have been negative 4x and 2x, and then they also would have been 2y and 3y. For coefficients, you would have had a negative 4, a 2, and a 3, and then you don't have any constants. When you simplified this one, you have to go back and remember your integer rules. So you would have gotten negative 2x plus 5y. So at any time, again, if there's any questions, please write them down so I can clarify on Wednesday when I get back. So using this, I've been having you guys combine like terms, so this next section is going to actually be pretty simple for you guys. The biggest thing is you guys need to keep the operation in front of the number when moving the terms. So just remember that that addition or subtraction sign stays in front. And then besides that, you're just going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, or we won't be multiplying and dividing today, but adding or subtracting. So looking at this one, my 4x and my 2x can be combined. So that would give me a 6x, and my 6 is left. So from there, don't continue to add on and say 12x. It is not 12x. There are 6 x's and there are 6 wholes, but I cannot combine those. Okay? The second one, when looking at this 5n and this negative n, those are going to be the same. So always keep the operation in front of the variable. So 5n minus n would give you 4n. And then here I have a plus 2 and a minus 6. So if I were to add those together, I would end up with a minus 4, and that would be my answer. So again, don't try to combine things that you cannot combine. Okay, for this one, you need to pause the video. I would like you guys to try this one on your own and see how you do. And then when you come back, I will give you the answers. So pause the video, complete these 3, and then I will give you the answers. Okay, welcome back. For A, you should have gotten 12n plus 4. B, you should have gotten x minus 3. And C, you should have gotten 7y minus 2x. Okay, the reasoning for it is this one's a little different. We haven't talked about this yet, but you are supposed to distribute this negative 2 through to each of these. So you would have been left with y minus 2x plus 6y. And then I would have combined my y and my 6y, and then my negative 2x. So that's a preview of it you'll be learning here in a second, but we haven't gotten there quite yet. So C might have been a struggle for some of you, and that's okay. Make sure you get that one in your notes. Okay, pause the video and do these 3. Once you complete these 3, I will give you the answers. Okay, welcome back. For A, you should have gotten x plus 6. For B, you should have gotten negative 5m minus 1. And for C, this is one of those goofy ones again, so I had to distribute through. So I would have had 4q plus 32p here, plus a p on the outside. So adding all those together, I would have had 4q plus 33p. Okay, don't worry if you've gotten the distributive ones wrong, because we haven't talked a lot about the distributive property, but we will get there. What I need you to do now is I am going to have you pause the video, write down any questions you may have, and then I'm going to have you start the next video. And then after you finish that next video, you will be given homework so you can practice. So make sure again that you write any questions down, you're asking table mates for help, anything like that, and then I will clarify everything on Wednesday. So stop this video, start your next video, and I will see you guys on Wednesday.